Master Kalalal, Yahweh Washem, Yahweh Shai, the brothers to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all brothers them in the highway and byway preaching this word in sincerity and in truth, with much honesty. I'm the brother Shapar from the James Jamaica camp.
This is the brother Makolat.
Yeah. I was at camp Saturday and I talked to some man out there Saturday, and basically a man out there basically scoff at the fact that you have chariots, man, or so-called UFO, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree with everything he said.
Selassie
not being God and the chariots.
Yeah, and the brother from Kingston, just Saturday, it's the same situation, man. And next man come down and say, oh boy, he can't receive the reincarnation and the chariot business, you know what I mean? When this is a known fact that these so-called UFOs exist, man, which are the chariots of the Heavenly Father. You know what I mean? We personally are witness of those chariots doing even things that you know, maybe many never see. You know what I mean? And you have videos all over the internet. People have sightings all over the internet, man. You have certain government officials coming out. You know what I mean? Certain pilots coming out, revealing the fact that look, them encounter these craft, man.
And you know, there's a new name. It's unexplained aerial phenomenon.
Unexplained aerial phenomenon,
Yep,
really?
Yep, UAP. That's the latest nomenclature.
I like the old one. I like UFO. I don't know why.
Well, I think we can use them interchangeably, but I would like us to go into those files and hopefully make as much of that public as possible.
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in and he did check and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
There might be that we've identified already what the ships look like, the variety from the small Foo fighters up to allegedly motherships mile wide.
And they picked up their cameras and started over toward it, filming as they went. And when they got in fairly close to it, it lifted up, put the gear back in the wheel wells, tipped up, and took off at a great rate of speed. And so they came into my office and told me what had happened, and I sent them over to develop the film, and then had to go through all the proper regulations of reporting this, and we wound up having to send the film forward to Washington in the base jet airplane, and I don't know whether anyone's ever seen it since.
I have frequently been asked why a person of my background, a former chief of the defense staff, a former chairman of the NATO Military Committee, why I think there is a cover-up, or what the reasons may be for governments wishing to cover up the facts about UFOs. What I'd like to say is that there is a serious possibility that we are being visited and have been visited for many years by people from outer space, from other civilizations, that it behoves us, in case some of these people in the future or now should turn hostile, to find out who they are, where they come from, and what they want.
What I saw were lights. I saw three different things. I saw a glowing red eye-like ball that was dripping like molten metal that came toward us, that moved, it came into the forest, moved through the trees, missing the trees, obviously under control. The item moved back into the field and exploded and was gone. There were all three objects to the north in the sky that had multicolored lights that moved in synchronization as though they were doing a grid search. We watched them for quite a while, and we saw two objects to the south. They were white, bright lights. We couldn't discern a shape. There was a shape, but I couldn't tell what it was. One came overhead at high speed, very high speed, 2,000 or 3,000 feet up, and sent down a laser-like beam at our feet. Just click, it was on. I stood there in awe, very concerned. Is it a weapon? Is it a warning? Is it communication? And as suddenly as it appeared, it disappeared.
Going back all the way back to the 60s and beyond that, man, you have men coming in encounter with this, because the elite of the society know that these are the chariots of the Heavenly Father, the angels of the Heavenly Father, man. And I'm like to sow the seed out there that, look, you know what I mean, there are some ugly looking creatures, man, seeing through them propaganda that they could make people come together for fight against the Lord when him come. You know what I mean? And basically this is what's going to happen, man. You have everybody in the world have a team up to fight against the Lord when him come. You know what I mean?
Scripture? Zechariah chapter 5 verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll.
Right.
And he said unto me, What sayest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll.
Right.
The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it.
Yeah, and the so-called white man know all of this, man. He knows, say, look, them craft here, they have, I don't know, friendly craft. You know what I mean? That's why I'm having Star Wars program now. That's why you have many government officials to come out and say it. You know what I mean? That, look, we have our outside threat. You know what I mean? And them have them programs now, I prepare them to fight against the Lord when them come.
Tonight, we unseal the most shocking conspiracy of all time. The global threat of a possible alien attack. This is Unsealed. Conspiracy Files. September 17th, 2012. Reports surface of a highly unfriendly extraterrestrial threat, jeopardizing a vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, from the coast of California to Alaska. Naval forces from the United States and China are said to have launched a joint counteroffensive. Officially, the Navy denies the battle, claiming the massive mobilization is a planned training exercise codenamed Valiant Shield. But the mission appears to be a counterattack against an unidentified enemy. What possible threat could unite these rival superpowers? In a 1962 speech, General Douglas MacArthur openly addresses the concept of an alien war.
We deal now not with things of this world alone. We speak in strange terms of harnessing the cosmic energy of ultimate conflict between the united human race and the sinister forces of some other planetary galaxy.
Why would MacArthur comment on such a top-secret matter unless he was convinced such a conflict was possible?
This world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us we can bring about that realization. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
And it's like you say, if we have a threat from the outside, we could have just all throw the differences aside and come together as one, because...
Yeah, and you have many other officials who say that. We'll put the clip them in this.
Yeah.
You know? So, hey, these men well aware of these things, because you people don't know that these governments putting together plans in order to tackle this UFO problem, man. You know what I mean? And part of the plan is to get you psychologically motivated to fight against the Lord and come. That's why them give you all them movies and all them say whether if there's there's no UFO scene, them try to drag it from the points that the Bible actually speak about these craft scene and put it in our agenda, like say there's some ugly alien creatures. You know,
condition in your mind that if there is supposed to be an alien invasion, which the word alien doesn't mean foreigner. You should all come together and get rid of them, because them are come to be a threat to the whole order that be revelation.
And the thing is, you know, so okay. The thing is, you know, saying there is going to be a war. You know what I mean? Against the Lord and his angels, man. And a lot of people who is going to fight against the Lord and his angels, they're not going to be aware that it is the Lord and his angels they are fighting against, man. Because the so-called white man sowed the seed of this whole alien nonsense, man. You know what I mean? Because this is the main push right now. Yeah, because the militaries in the world being prepared right now for fight against the Lord, man, believe it or not.
Classified memo. Warships from the United States and China have joined forces in the Pacific. Their target is cited as a highly unfriendly extraterrestrial threat. Normally at odds, the unlikely alliance raises fears of a doomsday scenario.
When you look at the evidence, if the planet Earth were to ever face an invasion from an extraterrestrial race, it really wouldn't be a war between this country and that country. Those boundaries would fade away, and that we would have to come together and fight that war together.
The U.S. government has not confirmed the story, nor does it acknowledge that any evidence of alien spacecraft exists. But if there is no clear and present danger from aliens, why are American armed forces preparing for a UFO threat? Unsealed case file, Air Force Instruction 10-206. In 2011, shattering evidence of the Air Force's belief in UFOs is uncovered.
While investigating whether or not the military in today's world was still investigating UFOs, I discovered Air Force Manual 10-206. This was undeniable proof to me that on the books there were still instructions for reporting unidentified flying objects.
Although the public story remains that the military and the government have no interest in UFOs, Air Force Instruction 10-206 proves otherwise.
This was not a manual from the 1960s or 1970s. We now have a manual, undeniable proof that the military was still actively investigating these UFO records, these UFO reports, and these UFO sightings. That's very, very significant because that is 100% contradictory to what the military wants you to believe.
You know what I mean? Yeah, many evidence out there showing that the military is preparing for war with an outside threat, man. And all them armies are going to team up to fight, man. Yeah?
Revelation chapter 19, verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh.
Right.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses.
And look, man, it's not speaking about horses like four-footed animals, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord now come through no cloud and Pegasus, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He coming with a mighty chariot, man. You know what I mean? Where is the thing called them technology where man have? Where you think that knowledge come from, man? The knowledge for build cars and planes and now they might try going to some AI type shit. You know what I mean? They have drone out there responding to you, man. Where you think all the wisdom come from in these men to create these things, man? See, always the Lord, what say the Lord, man? Yeah? Should the Lord ride up on horses? Horses you ride up the technologies more like thinking more advanced than the creator of wisdom, man. You know?
The creator of wisdom.
Yeah, the same wisdom they use and create things them up. You know what I mean? See, hey, the scripture refer to them chariots as living creatures, man. You know what I mean? That's all Esau get him AI business from. You know what I mean? Because the chariot, you would have said the chariot, they're smart. You know what I mean? But anyway, they are preparing for fight, man.
As a matter of fact, let me get the account in 2nd Ezra 13 because it go in more depth. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 27. And whereas thou sawest at verse 26, it said, the same is he whom Yahweh the highest had kept at great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature.
Right.
And he shall order them that are left behind. And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind and a fire of storm, and he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. Hold on. As a matter of fact, we'll go down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, let me start at verse 1. Yeah? And it came to pass, after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof.
I one of them Israelite group. I don't remember which one of IUIC, one of them basically having the Lord coming out of the actual ocean.
Yeah, can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know that the heavens is a great sea, man. The great deep.
Yeah, the great
according to the scriptures. Hey, the scriptures say the money not really the panel level with the scriptures, man. Talking about out of space, man. It says the spirit of the Lord move up on the waters in a
no, he was speaking about
the deep. In a Genesis, man.
Yeah, but he was speaking about the literal water after breaking it.
Yeah. Slack.
Yeah. And we just a mess around. Yeah. 2nd Ezra 13 verse 2 is and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof.
Right.
And I beheld
just like in the movie Independence Day, man.
Yeah.
That's how the invasion will be like. Yeah.
And I beheld, and lo, that man walked strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Right.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard the voice, like as the earth feeleth when it feeleth the fire.
Hey, this is the end result. What's going to happen today? All them craft, like you said, the so-called white man spending all them millions working on to fight against the Lord with them come. You know what I mean? Them military expenditure where them can't get account for them all the money them are use. Them are use it on programs to develop craft to fight against the Lord and them coming. That's what's going on. You know what I mean? And guess what? Seeing this is the end result. Them are going to prove and effective, man. All these technology you come up with are going to prove and effective against the crafted, man. Seeing God, several times Esau have encounters with chariots, and guess what? Seeing them get them weapon system shut down. Not only Esau, but other nations too. Then get them weapon system shut down. You know what I mean? Them shut down the nuclear missile, let them arm them and them thing there. You know what I mean? So hey.
But are mankind's defenses any match for alien weaponry? Unsealed case file. Alien blackout weapons. Iran, September 19th, 1976. Authorities received multiple reports of a strange object over the capital city, Tehran. The Imperial Iranian Air Force dispatches a fighter jet to intercept. Military records from the incident describe a chilling, close encounter.
When they finally had visual contact, they asked what should we do, and the base gave them permission to fire. And just when he was ready to squeeze the trigger and fire a missile at this thing, his whole dashboard basically went dead. His cockpit went out electronically. He was still flying, but it was all disarmed. So he couldn't fire a missile, he couldn't do anything.
The Iranian jet's weapon systems have been completely disabled, rendering it helpless. At the time, no craft in existence had that kind of control jamming power. Even today, it's still the stuff of science fiction.
The object that the pilots described was very luminous. They also described multiple colored lights flashing very, very quickly on the bottom of the object. This is an amazing description in a United States government document. This is an astronomical find when trying to figure out exactly what the military might be hiding.
Can UFOs disarm the world's defenses with little or no effort at all? It's a terrifying prospect. But the Tehran incident wasn't the first time alien spaceships were reported to have disarmed our weapons systems. March 16th, 1967. America's eyes are focused on the war in Vietnam. Meanwhile, a terrifying scenario is unfolding in its own backyard. 10 nuclear warheads at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana are fully operational and waiting for launch commands. Captain Robert Salas is working 60 feet underground as part of the 490th Strategic Missile Squad. He suddenly receives a phone call from above. Hovering over the base is a UFO.
We had multiple military personnel viewing this object that was hovering directly above a missile silo that housed 10 nuclear missile warheads.
Suddenly, all 10 nuclear warheads have been disarmed, leaving them completely inoperable.
According to the official report for this incident, they do acknowledge that multiple military personnel witnessed a UFO or UFOs above the base, but it also states that there was no reasonable explanation for the silo to be shut down. If this report is true, and the UFO's presence was connected to this nuclear missile silo being shut down, what are they trying to tell us about the most dangerous weapons we have in our military arsenal?
The Monstrum is a terrifying example of UFOs disarming humanity's most destructive weapons with no effort at all. 15 years later, they would once again toy with our nuclear weapons. Only this time, they wouldn't deactivate them, but instead push humanity to the brink of doomsday. Unsealed case file, the Ukrainian incident. 1982. The Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union has hit a fever pitch. Nuclear missile sites on both sides are on constant alert. On the evening of October 4th, multiple witnesses report strange lights appearing in the sky above the long-range nuclear missile base at Usovo. They perform a series of acrobatic maneuvers, but suddenly, the dazzling light show takes a terrifying turn. Below ground in the silo, control panels spring to life on their own. The missiles are preparing to launch. For 15 heart-stopping seconds, base personnel watch helplessly as the world teeters on the brink of Armageddon. But then, just as suddenly as the launch sequence began, the system shuts down. While outside, the mysterious lights have disappeared.
Seeing, show you that the technology that the Lord coming with is myriads of years advanced than what Esau can ever come up with, man.
Yep.
Seeing? So I'm already lose the battle, man.
And
yeah, go on.
the scripture will explain, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Right.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
Right.
But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there was fight.
Right.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held a sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he had cast out sparks and tempests.
Yeah, you know, a lot of blasts, but laser, man. You have charts blasting people with lasers, man. Like the War of the Worlds or Independence Day, man. You know what I mean? A charts blasting people. This sound far-fetched to a lot of people.
It sounds like a movie, like a Marvel script.
But look, man, you have to be totally naive to think that in this whole universe, this one little planet, in this whole entire universe, does it alone, life exists, man.
Yeah, can.
You know what I mean? The whole universe is life, life abundant. The Heavenly Father is about life abundantly, man. You think this little speck in the earth?
Just right here alone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Come on now, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have the spiritual dimension, man. You have the angels them coming here, man. You know what I mean? See, you have demons coming here. I have myself a witness for demons, man. You have brothers witnessing demons, man. You know what I mean? You have demons plague the earth back in Egypt time. You know what I mean? You have people out here, I see them call demons, I call them duppy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People regularly see them. But
you know what I mean? So
them can't explain them.
They can't explain them because, hey, them try to tie it in with the scriptures, man. You know what I mean? But, hey, seeing all them things, they're real things, man. Yeah, they must have bugged out with the so-called white man wine. You know what I mean? Mine well calcified with fluoride and all them things that you can't think, you know, beyond, you know?
Beyond what master give you.
Yeah, you know?
See, there is no outside thinking because you get taught for the clip, the allegory of the cave.
Yeah.
See, you can't go see the shadows on the wall, and that alone makes sense to you.
You know what I mean? Overall, the Lord blind you, man. Hey, let me show you this because me myself, you know what I mean, and our brothers, we witness with UFOs, man, and hey, I have two specific events where basically it convicting, man. Two specific event encounter that me personally and other brother seen two other brother, seen at one occasion, and next brother where him, you know, bugged out of the film madness. You know what I mean? With two other females, two encounter, and trust me, I don't know nothing normal. And we know that the name of the Lord, this is the reason why we are certain that the name of the Lord is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Just to give a brief testimony, the first time I actually witnessed UFOs is when the brothers was contemplating if we're going to touch the street for the first time in Port Antonio. And as we right there, as we were standing right there, right behind the camera right there at the front of the house, one night, two of us, and three of us, you know what I mean, I was standing in a line, and we was reasoning whether we should go on the road, you know? You know? So, and in the meanwhile we're doing that, there comes a chariot just over the tree right in front of the house right there. You know what I mean? And I wanted that chariot pass just to the left. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look up and see the chariot. I'm gonna touch the brother them and show them the chariot. And we just give praise, you know, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and the chariot swell big and bright up the whole yard, man. You know what I mean? It's like daylight the way it get bright. You know what I mean? After we give praise to the Most High, it shrink and then it fly away, man. See?
Exactly. I will never see that before.
I will never see that happen before, man. Just by saying hard praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, you know what I mean? The chariot just do that, man. And trust me, I was convicted. And that give me the confidence to do it another time again. Where another brother, if I'm but whether if it's supposed to come, see him himself get to witness the same thing, because I was down by the art shop with two other females, and that brother was standing looking out for chariots, and a chariot come by, man. And as the chariot come by, I was the one who turned and see the chariot, and when I was chanting, all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, everybody turned around, and when them turn around, just in time to see the chariot expand again and bright at the whole place. A female was there, she dropped flat on her back, man. She fell flat on her back.
And even know that blow out of her mind.
You know what I mean? And yeah, for sure you say that the Lord himself, if him don't have you in a state where you can, all them things you flow out your mind, man, because my baby mother, you have enough other people who see them and they just out of their mind, man.
Yeah, because one fly over me one night, and that me think me I go off, and by the time, but something just tell, it wasn't me, something just tell me
something else that tell you to look up, man.
Just look up.
You know what I mean?
You can say that definitely is the Spirit of the Lord, and by the time I feel just look up, the light start expanding, and this one wasn't that high either. And by the time I could have tell everybody, say, look at that, everybody start laughing off of me. You know, nobody seems to look, and it just dim down back and take it time.
I remember my uncle when they were the West in the chart pass back. I was calling him to look.
But you start crying, you from way down much in feet away, I can hear the man cuss.
You say him now look. Yeah.
Now look, you know, and that was what give us the push to be hitting the streets, and that's the conviction that we have to know that the names are Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
And the chariot respond to it. They respond to it, man.
That's the thing, you know
what I mean?
And if we could have called upon Jesus until Yahweh Shai come,
they
would never
see the same thing with things like alien, them like them bump out people.
Exactly. I would just see something and just not see anything at all.
Just jump out of our mind.
Can.
You know what I mean?
See, and these are the things that the so-called white man, you Edomites, are trying to come up against. But this is what the scripture says, Isaiah 54 verse 16, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servant of the Lord, and the righteousness is of him, saith the Lord Yahweh.
That's right, man. That's right. Hey, that's why the UFO shutting down your nuclear armaments, man. You know what I mean? Them shut down your nuclear armament and them arm them. You know what I mean? But guess what? When the day when them armaments get fired, man, see, in the day when they get fired, guess what? Them same chariots gonna pick up the elect of the Lord, man, and them weapon not gonna prosper against us, man, because you figure that when you launch the missiles, they're gonna get rid of even the tribe of Judah over there in America, man. Not gonna work. You know what I mean? The Lord is gonna be there to lift us up, man. You know what I mean? People having dreams about chariot.
Because the spirit. That's the spirit now. Everybody, most people are the Lord, but they go back to the scripture. Scripture says, the Lord said, I'm going to pour him spirit out upon all flesh.
Right.
And your sons are going to see dreams and your daughters, you know. And that we can see a whole of videos that come up now with people having certain end time prophetic dreams.
Right.
Some of them can interpret, but it feels so real.
Yeah.
Them have to make videos or them seek answers.
Right.
And some of them are going to stumble upon brothers, you know,
right.
that teach the truth about so-called UFOs or you name it. But all of what happened is written there in the book. And that's the reason why you have to eat the entire road so you can get a perfect understanding. You can understand the script of what's taking place. That's why Yahweh said, never go to. That's why Yahweh said, he said, no more call a friend for no more servant.
Call a friend.
Because the servant don't know what the master do, but him call a friend.
Right.
Because him tell us everything. So it's just that Yahweh if you sup with you and you get the full understanding of the book, then whatsoever happens, you can get the spiritual aspect or spiritual meaning behind it.
Yeah, and just to add this, don't forget the so-called white man have a heavy psychological warfare going on when they come on to chariots or them so-called UFOs, man. You know what I mean? Because them have a lot of misleading things concerning the chariots, man. Yeah. Every time him show a chariot, him show this grey alien.
Or this green.
Yeah, and then they say the government in collude with aliens, and you have a alien, we have fight against that alien. Hey, all them things Esau throwing in all them bones, man. Seeing all those are bones throwing in, you know what I mean, to muddy the waters, man. There's no such thing as Esau and aliens are friends and they come together to set the new world order and bag of madness and Esau they get all the technology where them get from alien. Hey, guess what? The Lord, through the angels, when them asleep, put the instruction on them head. That's what the Bible say happen, man. You know what I mean? We not to say them get abducted. You know what I mean? See, but you have a lot of lies out there being pushed with the whole UFO thing, you know what I mean? See, hey, see, but guess what? Hey, through the help of the Lord, you'll sift through all the bones, man. You know what I mean? Because when Esau do this, basically, he can add a level of doubt, you know what I mean? He can make it sound like a kind of fictional thing, you know what I mean? And in case people see them thing here, them have the wrong idea. Yeah, that's him all aim. Because, hey, this man is the devil, he is the deceiver, man. So you expect this man to bring out the full truth concerning any situation, man. You know what I mean? Him have the Hegelian dialectic type thing going on in every avenue understanding on the earth, man. You know what I mean? So hey, we now battle for the mind. You know, but as the brother said, battle for the soul, man. That's what the so-called white man doing right now. You know what I mean? And he would like to get everybody together for fight against the Lord. You know what I mean? And that's what they're going to do. What they're going to leave World War III when they have against them one another to do what? Give them that precept, the brother. You know what I mean? And what in a revelation to it, tell us them get all the nations to get battle of it.
Yeah. Number one, stand up to see. There was scripture, let me find that.
Yeah, because that's what this devil is all about. Him know the greatest threat, because them have the greatest threat to them have as the greatest threat to America, basically. Ever since I think it was the 60s or the 50s, seeing it's flying saucers, man. It's in them documents. It's a flying saucer is one of them greatest threat, man. You know what I mean? Because they know that, look, see, when these saucers come about, this is the Edom kingdom, and it's all about to set up the kingdom of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, man. So this man prepared for battle, man. See, now I'm like to deceive you. For you believe that, look, these are aliens, and you know, you must fight when them come. Fight for the earth.
Yeah, fight for humanity.
Yeah, fight for humanity.
Or the human race, which is there's no such thing as human race.
You know what I mean?
Revelation chapter 20 verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Right, so speaking to battle you Israelites, you know, and ultimately Yahweh Shai is going to come to fight for you Israelites. You understand?
See, some stages World War III, you know what I mean, for create a union, you know what I mean, all them nations, man. seeing, as a part of them plan, creating all these war, them create the war, you know what I mean? That's them could at the end of the day, seeing, gather together for fight against the Lord, man. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be the end result. The scripture say, oh, look, them all leave the battle when them fight against it, they will find it.
Oh, that one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Same second as verse 13, never finish. And start at verse 32, he say, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I shewed thee before, and then shall my son be declared whom thou sawest as a man ascending.
Right.
And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
Right.
But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be shewed to all men, being prepared and built like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. Right. And this my son shall break the wicked inventions of those nations.
Right, so all them technology the so-called white man coming up with, man, seeing, the Lord gonna break all of them wicked inventions, man. They're gonna prove as
nothing,
nothing, man. Like them not effective against them chariots, man. You know what I mean? Go on.
Which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and they shall destroy them with labor by the law.
Yeah, man, they're going into what? Slavery, man. So who will get burnt immediately? They might get chains slapped on them, man. For slavery, man. Tormented with labor. And the so-called white man, him at the depths of the pit, him a go, man. You know what I mean? Conspire against the Lord, man. Yeah?
See, scripture. Scripture for you, brother. See, so we can't wrap up to Isaiah chapter 24, verse 22. And they shall be gathered together, as a matter of fact, start up 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord Yahweh of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancient glory.
Right, this is the end result, man. Seeing you have people thinking that we should come together with other nations, and you know, everybody are one and them thing. Look, man, this it wasn't so, and it's not going to be so, man. Why, as a people, you go through all the way you go through, but you know, when everything will get right, you are the one who get the bitter end up on the earth. You know what I mean?
Wake up to the fact,
you alone go through this hell. You know what I mean? And then nobody else to go through it. You know what I mean? And the ones that will put you through this hell, they know justice get done.
Sure that you're in program.
You know what I mean?
Program to think.
And the same nigga, look, the same nigga who the one in other nation pay for what them do. If somebody come and kill a family member for them right now on the spot, if another nigga come and kill a family member, there's no forgiveness, man. See, them don't want a nigga get cheer, or them person don't want to kill that nigga, or whatsoever, man. But guess what, the so-called white man will see your whole entire nation, and you know, but this is another topic, you know what I mean? But, hey, seeing the Lord Hashem is on his way, man, and he's coming with thousands of chariots, man, and he's coming swiftly to come destroy the so-called white man and them armies, man. You know what I mean? And all them weaponry where them create, man, them Star Wars program or whatsoever, them have ready, man. Come take you out of your bunkers, man. Straight into slavery. You know what I mean? That's the point in time where we're rapidly approaching, man. Yeah, so with that we say, Kalalal, And double honors to the apostles of Gravenstone. Shalom to all the brothers in the highway and byway, preaching this word in sincerity and in truth. And let's keep pushing this thing to the end, man. Shalom.